Okay, let's look at how to add supplier meals to your menu workflow. So we're going to use the guest filter to identify if suppliers will be eating from a certain product list. This does require you to put suppliers on your guest list as suppliers so they don't count against included, and they make sure you generate the right charge if you're charging at the guest list level. So if you want to include suppliers, so canapes, so if you wanted to include supplier numbers for canapes, you add the guest filter of suppliers. More typically, we see the main meal. So let's look at the main meal. So we'll just look at starter here. Now starter, actually, let me stop here to talk about pricing a little bit. So if you look at your wedding breakfast, if all courses are included in for a starter or for a supplier and they can have all of these things at one price, you can just add a full supplier price here and just say, hey, suppliers can have this, and it's going to be 35 pounds, and add the price here. So it'll be one shot, 35 pounds, and they'll get dessert, main, starter, salad side, potato side. They get all these, okay? Some cases I see that you want it to be per course, so the couple can choose which courses the supplier is getting, or maybe you typically don't do all courses for the supplier. Maybe it's just starter, main dessert, or whatnot. So you can break that up by courses as well, in which case you take care of the pricing on the product lists. Either way, if a supplier has access to this course, you want to make sure you're adding them on the guest filter. So suppliers is going to be your daytime suppliers. So if you're not doing the overall pricing, which I just showed you of the 35 pounds and it's per course, you could come in here and say, it's 10 pounds for a supplier to have a starter. And then the customer can optionally offer a starter to their suppliers, and then they'll pay $10. Then we'll go to the mains. Again, if they want to allow the starter to, let's see, I just noticed the filters weren't great here, but if we want to let starter suppliers have access to the main, then we're going to include this here and we'll put the price here. So I'm going to put 15. And then I would repeat this on my dessert at 10. So the 3 courses are equaling the 35, the same as I was charging for the whole kit and caboodle. But by having the prices here, you could either make a course not available for the supplier. So let's say you don't offer dessert for the supplier, just don't put the supplier there on the guest filter. And you can charge per course. So maybe a couple can choose just the main, okay? Now, another scenario is I sometimes see there's alternative foods available for the supplier. So instead of just letting the supplier choose what you're offering all of guests, could be a hot meal or a sandwich, or maybe it's just sandwiches. If it's just sandwiches, don't include the supplier on your product list filters. In that case, you'll make a new product list of supplier sandwiches. So bear with me here. If you want to do maybe you can pick 2 different sandwiches. Let's be their main, so we can say which one they're having. And this will be for suppliers only. And then you would add your product through. So you'd go in and get wherever you have your sandwiches. I don't have any saved, but your products. So you'd add them first under products, and then you'd pull through like maybe there's a ham sandwich, a turkey sandwich, egg sandwich, veggie sandwich, or something, and save it here. Then on your menu for wedding breakfast, you would add in your supplier sandwiches. Okay, so that would be a choice they make. but you won't add the pricing here. The supplier sandwiches will only be charged on the product list because they're not getting access to everything else. We want to say per guest, and however much you're charging, maybe you charge $12 for a sandwich plate with chips or whatever. So then if you end up with 4 suppliers and 2 are having ham and one's having egg and one's having veggie, you're going to have 4 times 12 when you lock your guest list. So by putting it on guest choice group, you will say what kind of sandwich the supplier is having. If it's not a pre-order sandwich option, it's just maybe you just have a platter in the back and suppliers help themselves or whatnot, you can turn this off. That's fine. And then maybe it's just a supplier sandwich platter. It's more generic on your product list. And that way the chef can look and say, hey, there's 4 suppliers to have sandwiches and nibbles for. One's a vegetarian, so make sure that I take care of that. They can do as they wish. And that's how you can add in a separate option for suppliers if you wish.